Water polo is a great but unpopular sport. It requires the endurance of a marathon runner, the power of a rugby player, the precision of a golfer, and the strategy of a chess player. My name is Jeremy Robitaille, and today I'm addressing the question, is water polo the hardest team sport? Water polo is traditionally played in a 30-meter pool, in length. With a goal on each end, each team has to score the most points in 4 quarters of 8 minutes. The ball can only be touched with one hand at a time, and the players do not touch the floor of the pool at any moment during the game. The team is composed of 6 players and one goalie plus the bench. When in the water, there are no breaks. Teamwork and team communication is key since you must know when one player is winded and you have to go somewhere where you weren't supposed to be. Without communication, it is impossible to win a game. Water polo is a team sport, not an individual one. Full contact is permitted during the game on the player who controls the ball. You can't dunk the player in the water with 2 hands, but you can with one hand. The player who is being dunked needs to release the ball in order for the referee to call anything. Some game plans include that one player must take certain pressure from many opponents at the same time to create breaks in the game. This requires top-notch communication and teamwork since without any communication, the player would take incredible pressure for nothing since no one would know where to be. Water polo used to be referred to as rugby in water. The full contact nature of the sport makes it very hard since you have to stay over the water at all times or else you won't breathe. Although water polo has not reported any deaths during the game, unlike other sports, it is one of the sports that require the most stress, that impose the most stress on your joints, especially in the shoulders. From my personal experience in water polo, I'm only 18 years old and I have already had some shoulder injuries, and many people whom I train with have shoulder injuries as well. The sport puts an incredible amount of pressure on many parts of your body since your only support is either another player or the water. Some players who have no team spirit do things such as kicking or punching you in the naughty bits, or some sharpen their nails in points to cut you during the game. I have played in the NCL, the National Championship League for water polo in Canada. This league is the step before being part of the national team, which leads to the Olympics. Only the best players are selected to be part of the national team. Yes, you may be surprised that it is an Olympic sport because you probably haven't heard much about this sport. It is actually an Olympic sport since the Paris Games of 1900. The sport was originally created in the 1850s. The sport is much more popular in many countries from Europe like Croatia, France, Greece, Italy, and more. So I haven't exactly addressed the question, is water polo the hardest team sport in the world? Personally, I think it is. The full contact and pressure you have to withstand during the game is more intense than any other sport I have ever played. I would compare it to running a 5-kilometer race while someone is constantly pushing you and making you fall on the track. A lot of great swimmers are not able to play water polo since their style is very fragile. They swim fast, but they don't have what it takes to withstand the constant pressure. Overall, I think water polo is a very complete sport, and even if it is very hard, on a recreational level, it can be enjoyable for anyone. Thank you for listening to my podcast. My name is Jeremy Robitaille, and I think water polo is the hardest team sport in the world.